What is the meaning of life? I don't know, sometimes I think of Pooh Bear, like Winnie the Pooh. You know, Winnie the Pooh had it all figured out. It's just friendship, love. So I figure combine Winnie the Pooh, friendship, love, and keep Jesus Christ at the center, and try to be a good person. And then hopefully the Mets win and everything's good.
The meaning of life, to me, means to be the best person you can be, the kindest person you can be, and to do as much as you can with your time while you're here.
That's a good question. What is thoughts about death? Death is, I mean, if you truly believe in God, keep God at the center. I mean, then death is just part of where you're going, and you have all your family members waiting for you, sort of. So it's sort of entering the kingdom of God and rejoining those that you miss, and so death is kind of reminds you that there is an afterlife, but in the present life you sort of have to like live your life accordingly. You know, keep on the right path, so to speak, as much as you can, and then when that path is finished, then God takes you into His path, you know, up there, wherever that is. So I guess that's death, for the most part.
I think death is, I think death happens to everybody and anything, but what I think happens is that when we die, that our bodies stay here and our souls go up into heaven, and eventually we come back as something or someone else. So our souls come back.
My thoughts about death?
Yes.
I don't know. It's just a reality. I don't really have an opinion on it, because whatever my opinion is, it's going to happen. So my opinion's insignificant. Like, death happens, and everyone has to accept it.
My thoughts about death are just, they're a little scary. I just feel like I'm not ready to like die, because like I don't want to die young, and I just feel like I'm scared to like experience it when it happens, even though like I'm not gonna be awake after that or anything like that. I just know like what's gonna happen to me in the afterlife. Like I'm gonna go to heaven, but then again, I'm just like, I'm scared to go through the process of death.
I'm not good with cremation. I don't know. And you know, they say your soul goes with you. I think maybe give it, like, if my eyes can go to somebody, I'm okay with that. Or if my heart can go to somebody, I'm okay with that. But otherwise, dust to dust. I think we return to the earth, and our soul goes to heaven. So, I mean, I'm kind of still in that part. I'll go back to the earth as long as I'm dead.
I want to be buried. Because my family and friends are already buried, and I just would like to stay whole, I guess you could say, in my bodily form.
To be honest, both freak me out. Is the thought of being buried alive or burned to death. I know you're already dead, but it just freaks me out. But I guess there's another group is cremation, because I saw this really neat thing. I'm a big marine bio person, where you can take your ashes and put them in this big cement ball, and if they sink it in the ocean, there's a whole coral reef and stuff that grows around you, and I always thought that would be the coolest, thing.
I want to be buried.
Why?
I want to be buried because, like, I think it's, like, better to be buried because, like, you're in one spot, like, and you're safe, and maybe it's, like, with someone of, like, a relative that's in the same spot that you may feel better. That's, like, my preference on it.
I think they're all part of being a human being. I think it's important to feel. I think a lot of people don't want to feel anymore. That's why a lot of people drink a lot or take certain types of drugs, like, because they're afraid to feel. But I think feeling is a part of life. You have to feel human, to also appreciate what history is all about. But it makes you realize how human you are, right? And I think grief is also love. You know, so it's important to feel grief, to feel love. All right, so that's important to remember. I think it's yours.
In my last interview, I said fear and guilt, so I'm gonna go with anger. I feel that a lot of times, when something bad happens, people tend to not look fully into the situation. I feel like a lot of times people jump right to, being angry, being sad. But in my situation, I usually jump right towards being angry. And it's something that I feel like should certainly fix.
I think a mix between sorrow and anger. I remember specifically when my grandpa passed away, it was just very painful for him. He had a disease, and I remember being really angry because he was such a great person, and why would this happen to him? And then I was really sad about it. So I think of probably anger more, but anger and sorrow being the two biggest ones.
Okay. All right. Thank you.